My Strange Addiction, Season 7, 2026. So I watched the new episode last night and it did not disappoint. There is only one episode that is available right now. I guess they're going to release them weekly, and I watched it on Discovery Plus. This is Craig, and his strange addiction is mild compared to the other two. And at first, I thought the raw meat lady was mild too until the very end of the episode.
What's up, bro?
Careful, man. I'll break the seat. You fit?
No.
All right,
No.
I'll take the top off so you can.
Okay.
My name is Craig. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I make my money from online coaching, and I'm addicted to being huge.
The fact you can't fit this car is ridiculous.
Oh. Woo.
Dude, you look ridiculous.
For me, being huge is just being so big, so wide, so large that people are like, wow, why is that guy doing that? That's crazy. Just makes me feel like, I'm doing the job right.
Craig is definitely massive and putting a lot of strain on his heart since he wasn't doing any kind of cardio at the time. Most entertaining part was him trying on suits. He obviously had to get a custom made. Let's keep going. Catherine is a serial food snorter who has not had any food orally in about 5 years.
In this guacamole. I'm nervous, but I'm excited to try it. Sometimes I just blend it as it is. Sometimes I'll add something, even olive oil. They do it a lot in Italian restaurants. I don't have an aversion to chewing, but I have an aversion to the weird textures that come with food.
You don't like the way it feels in your mouth.
No, I think it's awful, and I think it's like primitive, you know what I mean? I do not see snorting my food as a problem. I think it has a lot of benefits, no risk of choking. I don't overeat, I consume less calories. I have had bloody noses about once or twice, and that was more at the beginning. It has really no drawbacks, except that is spicy. Nobody accepts my habit. Nobody accepts me for who I am.
Oh my gosh, snorting food in the car, it's only a matter of
I
time.
have lost several friendships from how I snort my food, just because I cannot stand to have hate in my life. If I'm at certain social events, sometimes I'm absolutely stuck by social norms to eat orally. It just makes me very uncomfortable. I'm very socially awkward and very quiet. Because of that, I do try to avoid events that I'm going to have to eat the conventional way.
Catherine's segment was starting to feel scripted to me, so she was dating this man who didn't know that she was snorting her food. She decides to go out to dinner with him and starts snorting her coffee in front of him. It was too much. So she's snorting her coffee, and a big long string of coffee mixed snot starts to pour out of her nose. The dude is like, Catherine, what the F are you doing? And then he starts telling her about the health risks. Duh. I would say it's pretty obvious the health risks of snorting your food. Kids, don't try this at home. But she acts all shocked at the doctor and says that she's going to work on it and blah, blah, blah. It was giving scripted. It was giving fake. Wendy Marshall here is our raw meat queen, and I mean all meats. This girl was eating raw bacon.
Oh, what do you got there?
This is raw hamburger meat, and I'm addicted to eating raw meat.
Absolutely disgusting.
Apparently, Wendy used to eat a lot of raw meat with her grandma, so she was the only one in the family that was passed down to, so she didn't want to let that tradition die. She also says raw meat is her identity. At that point, I assumed she was eating raw meat for social media purposes. Here's an older clip of Wendy. So not only does she have an emotional attachment to eating meat, she is doing it for social media. I wasn't as alarmed by this because we have all seen the raw meat trends. And it was almost portrayed in a way like that's all she eats is raw meat. There wasn't anything else that we've seen her adding into her diet, at least not on the show. Now, Wendy is married and her in-laws are not too keen on the raw meat stuff. Wendy and her man want to have the in-laws over and have a family cookout. Supposedly, Wendy's in-laws have never seen her eat raw meat in person. This doesn't go well. They are completely disgusted and she runs in the house crying about it. The people that are around raw meat Wendy, they start to become concerned for her health. So she goes to the doctor just like Catherine did, straw girl. So she goes to the doctor's appointment. She explains that she eats many different kinds of raw meat. It's not just steaks, y'all. She's eating it all. They take a urine and stool sample and they test her. She explains to the doctor that she's not having any kind of negative symptoms from eating raw meat. But when you look at her skin color, she does look a little sickly to me. The results come back later that day, and wouldn't you know it, she pops positive for E. coli. The doctor explains to her that since she was not having any symptoms, she's probably had this E. coli for a very long time, possibly years, and that it would be so resistant to antibiotics that there's no treatment. At that point, I start Googling it, and it says right there, E. coli develops resistance by acquiring genes for enzymes that break down antibiotics or by changing their cell membrane to block antibiotic entry. So what, Wendy, you just living with E. coli for the rest of your life? I was flabbergasted. Have you guys watched the new episode yet? Out of Craig, Wendy, and Catherine, which one do you feel like is the most out there? Now, if you enjoyed this breakdown of the new episode of My Strange Addiction, let me know in the comments so that way I can continue to do these. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, follow, and reshare to keep this conversation going.